Call the meeting in order. Call on Reverend Thomas Gillespie to lead us in prayer. Everyone, please stand up.
Lord, you said in Proverbs 14 that righteousness exalteth a nation and sin is a reproach to any people. So God, we come tonight invoking your presence into this chamber. We ask you to bless our mayor, our city council, our police chief, his staff, our city clerk, our city attorney, and all our staff. Lord, we ask you to teach us that we are again a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Lord, we thank you for a new year, 2025. And God, in this prayer, we pray for those who've gone on who did not make it into 2025. We pray for our president who's gone on, James E. Carter. We pray for our present president, Joseph R. Biden. We pray, oh God, for our newly elected president who's coming in a few days, Donald Trump. God, we just pray. We pray for our mayor and our city council. We pray that we will have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Lord, teach us that as long as we remain good as a city, we will remain great. And God, lastly, as we close this prayer, we ask you to help us to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our fellow man. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Before we have the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like us to have a moment of silence. Remember Kyle Fletcher, he just passed away, and also Bill Graves. We just pause for just a moment, please, before we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance now. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Public comments. If anyone has anyone like to speak, just state your name, please, and address for the record.
Richard Lynch, 613 White Oak Drive, Lowell, North Carolina. My presentation tonight is directed mainly at the board. And what I've done is I've come across some documents that prove beyond a shadow of a doubt why we need to hold on to our water waste treatment plant. Now, we've been going back and forth in I should say discussing, but I've been here at many meetings trying to persuade the board and everybody to get on board with the vote. So this is a report that was given just before the last town council meeting, in which the motion to table the vote that night put the voting of keeping the waste treatment plant off till the end of January. In this report, it shows that there's a $95,000 loss in the waste treatment plant. But there's a problem with this report. Because if you look here where it says total revenue for the sewer, which is your waste treatment plant, the number is $665,000. The expenditures are $760,000. But what wasn't done, or I should say what was done, is at the very top of this report, there's this number here. And I want to thank Councilman Bynum for giving me a tutorial on how grants work, because that's what really caught my attention. You can't take grant money from one place and put it into another, from what I understand. So at the very top of this report, there's a grant, and it's called Wastewater Pre-Con Planning Grant. It says it in black and white, right there. So that means that's got to be applied to the wastewater plant, from what I understand. Somehow, mysteriously, that number gets transferred over to the water department and put into their revenue. On top of that, we have where this report was, and by the way, this report was given out sometime around July, August of last year when I attended my first meeting. And in this report, it shows that in the fiscal year budget, the actual budget for 2023,
and it says fiscal year budget 2023 was for $382,000. It says the actual was $273,000. This here report says the budget, all of a sudden the budget changes and the actual revenue for the sewer, $665,412, but what they don't do is they don't put in that grant money, and lo and behold, one of the biggest expenses that we incurred in the waste treatment plant was $352,000. If you take this number here, this 343, and you drop it down into our revenues for the waste treatment plant, it gives you a total revenue of $1,008,000. You then subtract from that this $760,000 figure, which includes that money, and we have a profit of $248,000 still left over. Then I went back to 2022. And in 2022, we showed a profit of $331,000 in the waste treatment plant. Now, I've asked Tyler if he would. He's getting me some information on the expenditures for the waste treatment plant for 21, 20, and 22. So I can make a comparison there. But I am 99% sure that in all those years, talking to the operator and talking to the engineer, they've always operated underneath budget. And the revenue has always been somewhere between $500,000 to $650,000. They operate on a shoestring of about 275, or on a high year they're at about 300,000. So every year they're turning a profit of anywhere between $250,000 to $350,000. My question is, why would anybody contemplate giving up a profit center, incurring the cost to feed that profit center at $5 million loan, incurring the cost of upgrading the collection system that feeds that profit center, and then be at the mercy of the people who have that profit center to charge whatever they want to? Now, you've heard me say this many times. If I'm wrong on my numbers, prove me wrong. I will stand here before you. I will apologize to the people of Lowell. I'll do whatever it takes. But from what I see from these reports that I've got here,
Karen Sarnes, 307 Walker Drive. I'm giving my minutes to Richard.
thank you.
What was your last name?
Sarnes, S-A-R-N-S.
I'm not going to go into all this other data that I uncovered. The short and the long of it is this. I'm here for one purpose only right now. To convince you that under no circumstances should we give up this waste treatment plant. We give it up, we're going to lose $400,000 a year in revenue. We're going to then turn around and have to make that revenue up somewhere. We will have no money to work on our collection system. Two Rivers will have the ability to charge whatever they want to. And I have it on very good authority that the Two Rivers facility is going to need some major upgrade or rebuilding in the very near future. And every municipality that's signed on to them is going to be hit to help pay for that cost. Folks, we got a moneymaker there. We need to put the money back into it, bring it up to date, do whatever it takes, and let it generate even more money. Do you realize that if we turn the waste treatment plant over to Two Rivers, here's another thing that nobody's talking about. Every time we have a major storm, you're going to be paying for 1 million+ gallons of sewer to go through that treatment plant because there's runoff that's going into the plant now. But if it goes through their plant, they're going to charge us back as sewage. There's a lot to take in here, I know, but pretty straightforward. And finally, I want to say to the citizens of Lowell, I came across this on the website. This is basically a power outlay of how the city of Lowell works. And if you look there, it says the citizen is at the very top of that power chain. Underneath that, you have the mayor, the council, and the city and the city manager. I encourage the people of Lowell to start getting involved with what's going on in their town. If there's a question, if you want something done, don't just sit back and expect them to do it. You have to understand, they work for us. Somebody asked me, well, why don't you run for town council? And I told them, why would I want to give up my power? I'm more powerful than any of those guys. If we're united, if the citizens were to get together, let their voices and their concerns and their questions be heard, come to these meetings and not sit there and look at a sea of blank faces looking back at you, but look at a sea and have a forum where we can ask questions and they answer, where there's an exchange of ideas. That's how we make the city right. Because right now there are things happening in this city I don't agree with. And I'm not going to sit idly by, and I'm hoping I can get more people encouraged. I mean, this is kind of shameful that we've only got, 8 people here tonight? That's shameful. And yet, if they don't do something that the citizens like, the first thing they're going to do is bitch, moan, and complain. But they never get off their butts to do anything. We've got to change that. We have got to learn how to exercise the power of the citizen. We are at the top of the food chain, folks. And I'm sure that all those members there, they know that. But somebody once asked me, why do the people in Washington spend all that money? You know what the answer is? Because they can. Because we do nothing about it. We sit back and we do nothing about it. It's the same thing here. Why do these things get done in Lowell that we don't agree with? Because people aren't getting involved. So once again, I'm asking you, with all due respect, please. Now we have a meeting coming up, January 31st, is it? 12 o'clock?
31st or 21st?
31st.
And the citizens are welcome.
Yes, encourage your neighbors and your friends, everybody, to be at that meeting so they can have some input, because we're going to be discussing the wastewater treatment plant, and rather not to keep it. And I'll tell you right now, I'm an open-minded person. You give me the evidence, you give me the financials that shows that we're losing money and we should get rid of it, then we'll talk. But right now, that's not the case. And one more final statement. Everybody talks about bringing in consultants, engineers, experts from outside. But nobody wants to sit down with the operator and the engineer and pick their brain. What do we need to do? What's it going to cost? How long will it take? What will be the result? How long will the plant extend its life if we do such and such? I have done that. And for about $3 million, and it could be between 3 to 5, and I've asked Tyler to look in to see if we can get that $5 million low-interest loan. If we could get that money, we could bring that plant into compliance. Well, it's in compliance, but we could modernize it, upgrade it, and keep it for another 20 to 25 years. And let's face it, folks, with modern technology, in another 20 to 25 years, you will be paying for crap, because they're going to learn how to turn it into cash. So think about that. Thank you, and I appreciate you giving me the time.
Thank you, Richard. Anyone else like to speak? The next item, okay, go ahead.
Candy Funderburk, 600 Rogerson Boulevard. In the last meeting, or 2 meetings ago, someone spoke about the one-way sign at the restaurant. When I was on council, and I think Mr. Chitwood was on council at that time, we looked at that because, and it was not made, that decision was not made for parking, as the mayor had said. It was made for safety. You come west going towards the restaurant, you pull out, you cannot see. And if there's cars, which that's their parking, you cannot see. So we decided to have it changed or looked at, and it was looked at legally, and it was made a one-way street, just that one block up because of safety. It was not because of anybody's parking. They have their own parking, which they're legally, they have to have that. But it wasn't, the decision was not made for parking. It was made for safety reasons. And also, let's see. In the, excuse me, in the November meeting, Mayor, you wore your Trump hat, and you had your friend play the song. And that was all good, you're happy and upbeat and everything, and I get that. But that was kind of offensive to some people, some of my friends and citizens. Even though we don't agree on a lot of the politics, national politics, it's still offensive to them. And also, we are bipartisan here. It's not Republican and Democrat, and I just thought that was not called for. And I think you really need to apologize to some of the citizens that were offended about that. And also, at the tree lighting, you were handing out money to children. Now, I know you got a good heart, and you were telling all the kids, I think you said, people won't agree with what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway, because that's what you do. You do what you want to do when you want to do it. But you were handing out $20 bills, and that was fine in one sense, but you are the mayor, you represent Lowell, and it's the appearance of. That didn't look very good, Larry. Thank you.
If you'd been a little younger, you got $20. But anyway, what we need to do is stop, trying to kick the poor mayor. I'm a Republican. I'm proud to be a Republican. It's my right to be a Republican. It's your right to be whatever you are or anyone else. If I want to wear a Trump hat, I'll wear a Trump hat. If you want to wear whatever you wear, it's fine. But I'm not going to apologize for wearing a Trump hat for what? I love Donald Trump. I love our country. It's going to get better.
But
All right, let's go.
bipartisan in Lowell, that's my
I'm
statement.
going to be what I am. Thank you, though. All right, the adoption of this agenda for this meeting.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda for the January 14th, 2025 meeting. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. All right, we need to approve the minutes for 12/10/2024. Unless you have changes.
I don't want to be a part of the approval because I was not present, so
All right, that's because we got a form without you.
I'm not going to make a motion.
Okay, we'll just,
I'll make a motion.
no form.
You still have a quorum just as for the meeting, you can still vote if
If
it's.
something comes up in the meeting, you have to vote to have a forum, right? This is a vote to approve the minutes. There should be a quorum, at least three, according to what our rules are. Have a quorum is 3 council members, 1 mayor.
Correct, have a quorum.
Yes, we don't have a quorum, so
Vote is by the majority of the members that are present, so if any motions would have to be passed by a 2-to-1 majority. If you have a 2-to-0 vote, that is sufficient to pass.
I
made a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? I'll say that passes 2-0, but that's all right. You can do whatever you want to. All right, number 3, special presentation. What is this called?
There's nothing on that line item.
Number 4, consent agenda. Need a motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? There's no unfinished business, right?
Correct.
Number 6, new business, interim city manager contract extension.
So I asked that, as you know, that I have decided not to take on the full-time job for the city manager position. However, I'm asking if this council approve the extension of the interim contract to run till March 28, 2025.
This is that like it's written as written.
Yes.
You have a motion?
Curious why just until March.
Well, I think, so for right now.
If we have to come back in March.
So right now, I've been reviewing the previous resumes that have been submitted. I plan to submit some to y'all that I believe that would be a good fit for Lowell. If you choose to interview those individuals, I can set some time up to have them come in, but I'm willing to help y'all in that transition.
Oh.
And then again, if it needs to be extended past March, I'm willing to help as well.
So we need a motion to extend the contract, right?
I make a motion to extend the interim city manager contract.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, under discussion, and you just brought up the subject of you're going to look at the resumes and things like that. I think the council needs to set appropriate time to look at the resumes along with you, so that way we can make a decision on who the city manager may or not may be or may not be. So once we come to a time to
I can
set out
forward those to y'all.
That's good. And also, it's been put out that, the contract, that you're taking the job and the people that have put in resumes have been notified that the job has been filled. Have we reached back out to the people that have put the resumes in to let them know that it's available?
Because you just said you wanted to review them before we call them.
We want to review them, but we want to also include those people that already applied.
That's what we're doing.
And then have a meeting to sit down and talk with the folks ourselves, the council, along with you. So we need to set a time, I guess, sometime in February to start looking at resumes. So how many resumes do you have on hand right now?
I'll have roughly 10.
Mr. Mayor, I might make a suggestion, please. We had many resumes that did not even come close to fitting what we need to do. I think our current interim has some great insight on what we should require on the incoming. I think that all needs to be evaluated and then make sure that we are accepting and reviewing candidates that fall into the scope of what we need to be done, rather than spend a lot of time looking at people that are just throwing their name in a hat. We don't need to waste our time on that. Although we appreciate the interest, we've got a job to do and we need to pick the right person. So, that said, opening up all the resumes that we had in the past, 95% of which would not meet the qualifications at a minimum to begin with, before our current interim's interjection, I think is a waste of time.
I think you've already proven that you went out and offered a position to someone without even interviewing other people, just, at a whim, just go ahead and extend the offer to our acting city manager that is. We didn't even look at one. We didn't look at no. We didn't look at no resumes as a group, as a people. We always looked at, and when I was mayor before, if something came up in a special position of city manager, everyone, the entire council should look at it.
Everyone's resume was emailed to all city council.
You got every copy of every resume, and I believe you were the one that was pushing for the current. So, that aside, moving forward, this is my recommendation. No pointing fingers, no doing anything else. Let's just do the right thing, moving forward.
But as far as what you're saying is correct, we need to look at all the applications, but we need to look at them together. We don't need to, for your mind, this is one vote, that's your vote. I have an opinion, that's mine, but I have those 3 votes in my head, or I don't have 3 votes. But we have people on this council, once we have a full council here, where they can make a decision. But everyone needs to be, it should be an open discussion. With people that apply for this job, and it's been shoved to the side, no one was called in for an interview, and that's the truth. We should have had interviews along with you, and the whole, whoever applied. That would make it better, it would have been better for all of us. But we still have those resumes, and I'm willing to look at them because they've taken the time to apply for the job. And you're going out and asking for other people to come in, how are they going to feel if they find out that you didn't even interview not one candidate? That's my question.
Either way, that comes at a later date. We're just voting to extend the contract.
I understand, but we need to try to find someone to take this job.
So
All right, we
there's
got a
a
motion and a second to extend the contract. Any more discussion?
Is there a date on the motion, how it is recommended for the March?
March 28th,
2020.
so it'd be extended through March 28th, 2025.
And I feel like there's several people on this capable of being city manager prior. But anyway, you got a meeting, he's extended to March 28th. In the meantime, we need to try to find a city manager. Any more discussion? All in favor? Thank you. All right, the next item of business, consideration of budget amendment number 4. Go ahead, Tom.
Lisa will handle this.
Thank you, Tyler, Mayor, Council. This is the budget amendment number 4. It's to receive grant funds on the SRP WARP 0301, the pre-construction wastewater planning grant. Withers Ravenel is billing as they go to the state, so that's why some of these are coming in later. So we've received $45,072 that we need to approve on this budget amendment.
Are we still paying Withers Ravenel?
Yes.
For what?
For the planning grant. It has not been closed out yet.
I thought that's what we voted on last week, and I was closing it up.
That was a CDBGI.
We're still spending money, but plus, we're gonna get $45,000. How much are we paying for the Withers Ravenel? What are we paying?
This is the grant that they're under right now.
So we're paying them $45,000, giving us a check for $45,000. We're paying this out of the taxpayers' money.
Make a motion to approve budget amendment number 4.
Second.
under discussion, where's the money coming from? Are we paying for it, or is it coming out of the grant?
It's grant money.
I don't know. Any more discussion? All in favor? Thank you. All right, the next one's amendment to the interlocal Lowell Elementary water line.
Thank you, Mayor. This is, I've attached, in your package, you have the original interlocal agreement from the previous approval. The county has come back and added section 8.1 and 8.2 to the interlocal agreement. That's on the front page. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
The water line's in, but we don't have, the meter's not been put in, it's on our water line.
That's
We're
correct.
still using the old water, just like it was coming from the camel. They have all the water pressure they need, and the water's fine. But they want to come in here and build this 8-inch water line, and all this money the county spent.
Yeah, Lowell has not spent any money on this, nor.
But we
put
still
any-
get paid by elementary school every month, correct?
No, they didn't, no, we do not.
What was the sewer go?
We get the sewer, we do not.
That's money that we get every
We're not
month.
getting, yeah, but this is a water line.
I understand, but it's
For clean
all,
water
yeah,
and
water,
pressure.
sewer, whatever, the money has to come from somewhere. We can't keep providing stuff that we don't get money for.
We will be.
They'll be
collect-
paying
We'll
for
be, we
water
will be
we
collecting, once this is up and online, we will be collecting the water.
When will the water meter be installed?
That hasn't came in yet.
What, do you need a vote or just?
Yes.
No, this
information?
would have been our responsibility anyway, correct?
Correct, yes.
They just said it.
So, so once everything's complete, the county will turn it over to us, and then we'll collect all the funds associated with the water.
Yeah, in the beginning, I mean, the county just paid for
They-
construction,
Yeah, I think
everything, and
they've
then
taken care of that.
once,
I'm
they
just
just
saying-
hand it over to the city,
Yeah,
pretty much.
so they're being responsible.
Right.
County being responsible.
Yeah, but in the agreement, it talks about all of the warranties that would come with it, and if anything were to happen, the contractors would come back out and fix that.
By the way, they knocked it out mighty quick, did a pretty good job, looks like. At least-
So they'll do all their testing coming up this week, possibly in the next week, and then the meter should be in.
So whatever water we sell, we'll be charging for sewer. Before, how did y'all figure how to charge the sewer when you didn't have anything to do with the water? How'd you come up with the amount for sewer? That's on the outside of Lowell, and will they be paying twice as much for water and sewer because they're on the outside? Or we have agreement to split them pay the same thing as all the other citizens of the town pay?
So I'll have to go back and check that information for you, but if they're not in the Lowell city limits, they should be with the outside.
Plus, they tapped into our water line, that's how they got the water where they are.
And to make another note, if this were to, if the school were to shut down, this water line would be deactivated. They wouldn't be used for anything else.
Well, I mean,
That's in the agreement.
I don't think they ever shut the school down.
I'm just saying if that was the case.
But anyway,
We do need to make
get your rates and stuff together, you need to know what you're doing, and you need to have an agreement with the council, rather than just going off the hip and saying this is where it's gonna be, and, the county has one deal, we have another, we have to be responsible for our citizens.
It's been going on for a long time, Larry.
It
We
sure
kinda-
has.
we know
We've
what's
been
going on.
We're getting paid every month, just like we get paid on Saxon Avenue, no one wants to talk about it.
Make a motion to approve NC General Statute 143-805.
Second.
Any discussion?
But see, that's the next thing, right?
I'm sorry.
1438, this is the
Amendment to
water.
interlocal
Yep.
Lowell Elementary water line.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got two, all right. Any discussion, all in favor?
Need new glasses?
Thank you. All right. The next one is to approve North Carolina General Statute 143-805, also prohibiting pornography on government networks and devices.
Give me 1 second. So earlier, in 2024, the General Assembly required that all municipalities adopt an updated policy prohibiting and viewing of pornography on government networks and devices. The City of Lowell currently has a policy in place, but we needed to update it in order to reflect what the General Assembly is requiring. So this is what this policy is.
So you need to approve it as written, as the amendments written, right? Need a motion to approve it.
Yes, because it would go into effect January 1st,
Have a
2025
motion.
if we have an approval.
Make a motion, we approve North Carolina General Statute 143-805.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Next item is LCC appointment.
No,
Yeah.
6E.
I'm sorry, it's right. I need new money. To discuss city council results from North Carolina, League Municipality 25-26 biennium legislative goals. That's gonna be later on this month, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I need,
Yeah,
yeah,
gonna be in a January meeting or later on?
that's what, no, I need the, we need to vote on the goals that y'all provided to Cheryl. We need to make a motion to approve those, and then I will enter those in. Is that correct, Cheryl?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I got the tallies for everybody who voted, well, everybody voted, except the mayor. And then, I don't think so I got that, and I was gonna let you all know what the top 10 were, and you would vote to approve or not. The top 10 was number 1, to expand funding opportunities for disaster resiliency and recovery efforts. The next one was number 2, establish long-term funding streams that adequately address water, sewer, stormwater, transportation, and other infrastructure needs. The other top one was number 3, expand state transportation funding streams for construction and maintenance of municipal and state-owned secondary roads. The next one was number 5, expands incentives and funding for local economic development. Next one was 8, create incentives that encourage and adequately fund revitalized water and sewer solutions. Next one was number 9, reduce regulatory conflicts between state agencies that discourage voluntary consolidation, merger, and interconnection of municipal utility systems. The next one was provide local revenue options beyond the property tax. The next was support technical assistance programs to assist municipalities with securing or maintaining grants or other necessary municipal resources. And next is address the needs of a changing municipal workforce through state assistance that supports employee retention, including training and recruitment. And the last one was protect the ability of municipal elected officials acting on behalf of local voters to determine election formats, districts, and other election matters currently under their purview. And because I got the tally late, I couldn't get it in the agenda. So I can give you all a copy of it to show.
It's just everybody's vote together.
Yeah, it's just everybody's vote, and then whichever one, like if all 5 of you voted for the same thing, then that got higher, so, and that's just how I just tallied up, whichever ones had the most votes.
To your response from all of council. You got response from all of council.
Yes.
Very good.
This doesn't require any action though.
You just have to vote to approve the ones that were
The
selected.
recommendation, your recommendation?
Yes.
I need a motion to approve
Turning.
first recommendations as to what you want to do.
Make a motion to approve the results for the recommendations for the goals.
Have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Next thing is the LCC appointment.
We have 2 applicants to fill a vacant position on the LCC, which is the Lowell Community Committee. This committee plays a role in community beautification, parks and recs, and helps out with other events. I'm not sure if the 2 applicants are here today, and if they are, would they please, if they want to take the podium and just introduce yourself and kind of why you would like to be on this board.
I know I am, I think. I'm Lyle Sturgis.
You have to go to state your name and address.
I don't do these very often. I'm Lyle Sturgis. I've lived here in Lowell for over 72 years. I love this town, this city, whatever you label it. This is something that's very passionate to me, And I'm very proud to be from here. Want to try to help any way I can. I work about 60, 70 hours a week, and I won't say I'll be the very best one you ever have, but I'll be the one with the most heart that wants to help improve and keep our town or our city going like it goes. That's just the way I feel. I wouldn't have it any other way. I think we're the best doggone city in this county, bar none, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. And when I was asked if I'd be on this, I certainly would appreciate it. So that's all I know to say at this level here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Do we have any other applicants as well? Want to serve?
We have one other applicant, and I don't know if they're here, it doesn't appear that they're here. It's Kathy Pilkington is the other applicant.
That'd be good to approve both of them fine people. I like to run in the cars in the dark, right?
Yeah.
Larry does too. I get more concussions than you do, Rick.
That's right.
Thank you for one, sir. We just need a motion to approve these folks.
Make a motion to approve.
We just need, we will need a motion to approve one of the two applicants, and if anybody has any other questions.
Ms. Pilgrim's already applied as well, haven't you?
That's correct, we're only one vacancy right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's between Mr. Sturgis.
I'll put Mr. Sturgis on here.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we table this. I talked with the city manager. I believe the last time we were making an appointment for the LCC committee, I had asked that a background check be provided along with the application so we can look at it before we appointed somebody. So I would like to table this till we can get a background check on both of the applicants to the next meeting. I mean, a background check is required anyway, but I would like to see that up front before we appoint it.
Do you have a copy of background checks? Sure.
You can check me out.
Well, and I don't expect anything on the background check, but if we're gonna go by policy and
You just gotta do it
procedure,
the right
then
way.
we need to be upfront and do it, you know.
That's cool.
You take the picture down at the post office.
Yes, Scott's gonna have to take the old picture of the police department. But other than that, I'll be.
Take the picture down from the post office.
Can you not make the motion contingent upon the background check checking out good? Maybe else gonna check it out good, but still you'll still be getting what you need. And he's here tonight, there's no use. If he fails his background check, he'll probably.
So you're asking that approval
Yeah.
contingent upon
Yeah.
cleaning, so we go ahead and approve Lyle.
Yeah.
And with,
If
yeah.
anything happens, he'll be glad to resign, I'm sure. but-
Oh, yeah, man. You find something bad on me, y'all won't be on.
Only bad thing about you, like
I'll
mustache.
still live here, love the town, but I just won't be.
If anything happens, though, you know, it's fine. And we just need a motion to go ahead and approve Lyle. And then if anything comes up, then he'll resign. How's that?
Do you agree with that, Scott?
I don't, I still think, the last time we done this, I made the suggestion that we get the background checks to be presented in our packets.
I believe I remember that.
And, I mean, that's, I'm not gonna vote yes to approve somebody without having the background check in front of me to look at it first. And I get what you're saying, Mayor, about the contingent, but if that's the case, you know,
But
I
anyhow.
mean, we don't hire people, they don't hire people at the police department contingent on the background check. I mean, they don't hire them and then run background checks, they run the background checks first to make sure that they're.
He's not an employee, he's a volunteer. I understand what you're saying, I respect what you're saying, but he's here and he's, you know, made a good commitment to the town, I'm sure he's gonna do
And
it.
I'm sure
I don't see no reason.
it's procedure and
I
policy.
understand that. It's
There's
just
something against Mr. Lawrence,
I know
it's procedure and policy that I'm looking at.
Anyway, well,
Sorry, so we'll table that.
I had a motion second, but no, I don't know how you take a motion second off the floor, how do you take it off? Rescind the motion, is that what you're doing? Who made the motion?
I made the
Are
motion.
you rescinding your motion?
I'll rescind my motion.
And there's no vote. But thank you, Lyle, and you will be approved. Thank you.
Okay, y'all check me out. I respect that.
Thank you, though. Thank you for being here. Stay the rest of the week if you like. All right, then we're gonna go into the,
So.
There's no vote.
Vote on the.
There's no vote.
You don't need to vote on the.
No, just gonna check him out and approve him next month. All right, the next item will be the city manager report.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Just want to clarify a couple of things from the last meeting that were raised. One, I just want to clarify the question about the payroll issue. There was no payroll issue that was out there. What was needed was reports to send to make sure that the audit was correct. There was not an internal payroll issue. It was basically getting the documentation to the auditor.
Let me clarify this for you. This is the problem with what we did with our budget. I went up and talked to Sheila Butler and Stone, and there is a problem. We still have a problem. Like the fictitious thing you sent up there about the sewer, she had a copy of that as well. They don't audit, per se audit. All they do is take your figures up there and then they put them in line, and that's the way it works. We have a dire need for a lot of things here. We have dire need for financial reports. We have dire need for whoever's taking care of this money, that we need to know where every dime is, the $10 million in the bank that we do have, that we had to work hard to get all this stuff last year. Now you're First Horizon. People need to know where the money is all the time. And you do too, the city manager, as long as you're acting city manager, whatever. We need to know what monies are available at all times. Payroll should be on time. There should be no excuse for our audit to be not completed by now. It's supposed to be done in October. Now you tell me what the reasons were if it's not those reasons. Why do we not have our audit? I've talked with the lady.
I can take several guesses.
What?
We have 4 employees
And that's
that
wrong with
run
two
this
FUs
city
too.
hall.
They've got plenty to listen. What we have to do here, we have people, listen.
They don't put their paperwork in
We
trash
have
bags
people.
and then take
It
it to
don't
their
matter what I
county
do,
like
how I
you
run my business. They're talking about the city's business. Listen, anything on a computer can be done instantly. All the figures for the employees, the totals in the bank should be read all the time, day by day, not once a month. We should know where we are every day and how we stand on everything. And I'm not fussed or complaining about anything other than the fact that the law requires us to have that done by October. And this is January and we still don't have it done. So why do we not have it done? Why in the years past has been the same way? This is what's wrong with this whole city. You have rules. You want to go by rules on a background check, but you don't want to go by rules on your audit. Annual audit is due in October, am I correct?
Yes.
And it's not done.
And you knew I had told y'all that it was going to be late.
Yeah, I come up here and signed a document to extend it because you asked me to. I wasn't approving it, but I had to sign it.
Well, then we wouldn't have had the audit had you
We
not.
are in terrible financial shape with what's going on here because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. The audit's due in October. It's not due in January. It's not due in February. It's a simple process. It's every 12 months. Every month you get a report. You put it down and you add it up and you submit it to the auditor. That's how it works. And how you want to operate and how you want to do it in the future, you won't have a part of it after March. But this council's still here for some of them for another 9 months or so, some of them for 3 more years. But we have to answer to the public for every dime we have. And that's what I am, a stickler for the money. You know I know every figure we got, correct? Per se, every number. We don't dodge it. We've got to continue to go that direction. And people need to be paid. Payroll needs to be on time, which it is. You talk about these insurance problems, stuff like that shouldn't hold all of it up.
I'm not saying that was holding on.
Okay, I'm just saying nothing should hold it up. Nothing should hold it up. All other municipalities, they have theirs in on time. We have a finance officer, we have a payroll clerk, we have water people, we have you, we have the recreation. What's the problem?
We have 4 admins in this building to do the audit that it took 10 to do in past years.
How about ARPA money? ARPA money's gone.
It got done, didn't it? And then you're sitting here fussing because
I'm
it's
not
not
fussing
done.
about it.
That's
I'm
exactly
fussing
what's going
because
on.
the
Don't
audit's
raise your
not
voice
done.
at me,
I'm
Larry.
telling you, the
Don't
audit's
raise
not
your voice
done.
at me. I'm
That's
not
what you
doing
can
it. I'm
take
just
the voice
telling
where
you.
it goes. The audit should be done in October.
Well, why don't you come up here and do it?
Listen, I'm the mayor. I'm not allowed to come up here and do their job. And
Exactly, and
I
that's what
see
you're trying to do.
saying, Travis, about how many employees in the past.
Mhm.
But a few years back, we had the same amount that we got now, and the audits got done.
It was always late, though. It's never been on, I think it's been on time one time, not this late.
It's been late with y'all.
I mean, I don't know, I've never been on the council.
It was never late with you, do we need to pull that
It's
paperwork?
not- and there's
Never
more
been late,
requirements
Larry,
now.
Never been late.
There's a lot of grants, and there's a lot of other
Yeah,
things.
there's a
that-
whole lot more stuff going on.
Larry can
I
count it.
understand that.
So,
And you
yeah,
understand
it's-
this, we have enough employees up here to take care of what we do. I don't understand the significance. Why do we need backup for backup for backup whenever everything's on, it's on a
That's-
computer? There's a computer. Everything, you get a report from the bank every month. You write down, you cancel out the checks, it's been paid out, you submit that, cancel it out, and move forward. It's a simple process. And I don't think Albert Einstein needs to be running that department. All we need to do is do what we're required to do. That's all.
Okay. This is manager's report, let's let him finish.
Okay, I'm just letting them know, it's all it's not done. Put that in there with your background check. Go ahead.
Listen, Larry, there's no need to be making these smart
That's
comments.
not smart.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
You're gonna stop this
We need
stuff.
to have our audit. That's important.
You're not gonna be sitting here being smart with me or these other council members about put that in there at the background check. That's gonna stop. Understand? Well, then maybe you need to excuse yourself as mayor.
I gotta stay here and run this place. Without me, you
Not
don't
doing
have no
so good.
help.
You're not doing a good job of it.
Crush this place. I love this place, I heard you.
Tyler, you
Point of order.
Next
continue
item.
on, please.
Go ahead.
Yeah, another clarification was that Mr. Robinson had about the dashboard report. I had spoken with him about that and cleared everything up. The report was actually accurate based on what had been entered. Just wanted to make that clarification. The next thing was just want to remind everybody about the budget retreat on Friday, the 31st at 12, followed by the special meeting for the wastewater treatment.
Can I ask some clarification about that meeting or any meeting moving forward? If a council member or mayor, for example, knowingly comes into the meeting and says, I may need to excuse myself, at this time, or what have you, I want to make sure that what is the process, John, on how you do that? And rather than just leave the meeting, if it's preemptive and approved, if the council approves that, then it's not a yes vote. If you have to be excused early, this approved. Does that make sense?
Right, so if you need to leave and you ask to be excused, then the council votes to excuse the person, then the vacant seat, if you will, is not counted as a yes vote.
Okay.
If you were to leave without asking for permission and the council doesn't approve it, then the vacant seat is counted as a yes vote.
Okay, very good, thank you.
And that's all I have.
Thank you. The next item, I guess, would be the, Scott, do you have anything?
You skipped city attorney.
I'm sorry.
I don't have anything tonight, anything straight.
Go, Scott.
I don't have nothing.
You have anything? Fine. You have anything?
Speak a little bit of positivity at this meeting. The Lowell Community Committee, I've had several people, members, give me some stuff to let the citizens know what they have done. There's roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There'll be 8 members coming up. They relaunched the Lowell FACAID grant this year, or last year, excuse me. Awarded $7,000 in matching grants with the council's approval. MEM Investments, Vera Floyd, Beauty Salon, Back of the Moon, and York Properties all got those grants. They did the Christmas banners last year. Down number 7, that was a new thing. They lighted the poles. Helped with the Christmas tree designs, snowman with Lowell printed at the bottom. They do seasonal stuff yearly. The city hall improvements, that was all done by LCC, which the mayor kind of looked down upon. However, after some personal looking into with other council members, the paint used was approved for below 50 degrees, and everything was done the way it should have been. Other events they have done is the senior lunches, which I believe is monthly with Andrea, Halloween treat walk. They volunteer with Andrea, fall festival, Easter egg hunt, barbecue cook-off. That was my first committee ever to serve this city, and it was an amazing time. There's still a couple on there that I served with, and I think them, along with any committee, deserves, a good recognition for the volunteers. They spend a lot of time doing stuff for this city that sometimes isn't seen and even heard of, but we thank you.
I think we should give them a hand because they did do a good job on the things that we talked about. Anything else?
No.
I'm not wanting to, I want to take care of the things that what's necessary. Number one, all these deeds that you did for us, Mr. Russell, did you do on the properties? When you investigated the property, did they have any liens? Just like on the chemical plant, all the money is supposed to be coming in for the chemical company. It's supposed to be Laurel getting that, all the bankruptcy money and things, but they never have received anything on the chemical plant. And you checked all these deeds when you did the backgrounds on the property and things like that to see if there's any liens and encumbrances and things that you did.
The money coming in from the bankruptcy is different from liens on the property.
Okay, I understand, but where's the money? The money was supposed to come to Lowell, according to what?
But that didn't have anything to do with the property transaction. That's a
But
separate.
just like, now let me explain this to you. Just like you said, it doesn't have anything to do with the property transaction. Look at the Methodist Church, what we're liable to do forever. Cut the grass, take care of everything up there until something's on it, which will still be the city's responsibility. So how would it be one way or the other? You got those agreements to where we're held accountable for forever. But up there, the bankruptcy money was supposed to go to Lowell. When you did the title search, nothing showed up about that. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. The bankruptcy money was not part of the chain of title.
We own the property. The city of Lowell owns the property through the ARPA money, correct? Or whatever money, whatever fund did they use, what fund did they use to buy it?
The chemical plant?
Yes.
That was donated.
I understand, but I'm talking about also when it was donated, it comes with all the stuff that goes with it, like the good things. The chemical plant was the reason they donated to you because it was a dump and it was a hazard. That's why they gave it to you. We were getting property taxes on the property before that. But we're so smart, we take the property, we don't get any property taxes anymore, but we have all the liabilities. Someone goes up there with all these chemicals and things like that, even though you say you got a clean bill of health in the state of North Carolina. That doesn't matter. I need to know where the money that we're supposed to be getting and the bankruptcies from it. It says that we had, according to Diener, we have money owed to us through the bankruptcies as owning the property. We're the owners of the property. The money follows, to the property owner, which was donated, yes.
If
But
I
where's
can
the money?
interject, I believe, Mr. Attorney in town, I think the money that he's referring to is money that was left to clean up, which has been spent to clean up that property. The property was deeded to us. The money that was left was used to clean the property up.
I'm talking about.
I don't think there was ever any, we're gonna give you, X dollars or anything like that.
Whatever money goes with the property goes to us, we're the owner. The money you're talking about, you get from the state of North Carolina to pay for the cleanup stuff, giving you a grant. That money was terribly wasted and spent all that money. From the time we got elected in January, we spent over $800,000 that they had to hurry up and get spent before our previous city manager had to get gone. All this money we spent is on our hands since we got elected. The $800,000, all the money we spent on all this stuff. And just like the Methodist property up here is so, to me, why would you buy a church property?
I think you're incorrect on that money as it relates to the old chemical plant. There was money that was allowed for cleanup.
Yes.
And we were deeded the property. There was money left in the fund to clean the property that we used to clean that property. We were not able to use that for any improvements or anything else. That was done to clear all the boxes and check everything. If I'm not correct, please let me know, and I know you don't have that in front of you, Tyler. But it's not like you had all of a sudden a check coming from the property owner to us that deeded us the property for, whatever dollar amount it is. It didn't exist. The money that was left in the bucket for revitalization, for cleaning the property, was used for that purpose. And that's where it is. And now all of a sudden we got it, and now we can move forward because it's been cleared.
This
And that's our own
council,
money.
this council, we just, we got elected when our first meeting was in January. From that time on, they spend every dime. They pay $800,000 or $900,000 they pay for it, just every month. That way coming in, our city manager coming in wanting more money to pay. I'm talking about the money that's owed to us through that bankruptcy that we have, that money's to us.
That
We're
the money was
the
never
new
ours.
property owner, that goes to us.
You're assuming that that
I'm not
money's ours to
assuming, I
begin
know.
with. It was not ours to begin with. The bankruptcy's not
You know.
between them and the city of Lowell.
Listen, it's not
That
nothing to
is
do with
not
the city. They say
us.
we're supposed to collect money. Why would you turn money down?
It's not ours to collect.
It is our money, we own the property. Use your heads, hell, that's what this
It's
is all about. That's why you
after
got to pay
the deal
an
was
attorney for this,
done.
the money
The
we
deal
pay
was
in.
done before that.
The deal is done what? They gave us the property, yes, but what goes along with the property is what, just like any time I buy a piece of property, Ed buys a property, and whatever's in contingent, and whatever's there goes with it. If there's money there, we take it. If there's no money there, we don't get it. If there's some kind of restriction in the deed, you go by it. That's what I'm talking about. The money was appropriated through the state of North Carolina, Diener, the DQ people, to give us the money that was, supposed to have been transferred to us. But we have no record, where's the money? Can you research that?
I'm not sure I understand the
The
question.
money from the bankruptcy that went to the people that had the chemical plant, once they transferred the property to us, we're supposed to be getting the money according to the people
We
DQ
not
did the
get-
money.
We did not get the property from the people that had the chemical plant.
Who did we get the property from?
Lowell Foresight. It was a successor owner that had the property.
But it's bankruptcy.
No, it was not the bankrupt.
That's not the bankrupt property.
No, it was an owner that bought that property with the intent of developing it. They were not able to develop it, and they donated it to the city. The money that came in to clean the property was a separate
That's a grant.
situation.
Yes.
That was from a grant.
I agree
But
with you.
there was not like a pot of money that followed that property.
But here's the whole thing about it, John. Nevertheless, if the property went to the people that donated to us, the people that had the money from bankruptcy, it was going to them. And then when it's transferred to us, we should be getting the bankruptcy money just like they probably were. I don't know. But this is not my record. This is in the records for the property. You check the deed, you should know all these encompasses. You should know everything about it. I don't. I can only tell you what I know from what's been told by me from the people that cleaned the plant up, the chemical people, the state. They say we had money coming. Where is it? And why? And let me ask you this. You think they gave us that property because they wanted to help Lowell? That was the dumbest thing that Lowell has ever done in the history of Lowell, was take that. You were getting tax money. Now you've got a big elephant up there that you got to maintain and take care of. Even though you get a $2 million grant and you want to put the employees up there in the middle of a chemical plant, and the place looks like crap with all those insignias on the building. I've asked them to get it painted for ever since we've been here. But it looks terrible, and it should be cleaned up, the fence, everything should be cleaned up for $2 million. That place ought to be immaculate. That place should be clean. I can't blame you, and I can't blame you, but the former city manager was looking after this crap. I do blame them, because this board was in control. This new board just came on board in January of this year. So we owe it to the people of Lowell to take what monies we have like that, and it's like $97,000 maybe left over in that grant money. I don't know how much is left. And nothing has been done up there, no cleanup, no painting that old graffiti up there. At least make the place look good, and find out about where our money is from the bankruptcy. It should follow every property owner, no matter who we got it from, they probably receive the money from bankruptcy as well. But they gave it to us because they didn't want it, it was a total loss. Why would you take a chemical plant? That's crazy. And spend the state's money. Listen, the people in the western part of North Carolina don't have nothing hardly. And all the money that the state of North Carolina wastes, and hope and pray that, all they want to do is campaign with our taxpayers' money. We should never take grant money. I said that from day one. I don't care what you say or how you feel about it. Grant money is not good. It's money that we have. Each city, each municipality, 552 municipalities should stand on its own 2 feet and not depend on no one else. We charge taxes, we charge water, sewer, and all the amenities, we get all the money from the state of North Carolina on sales tax and things like that. We could live good. And the reason the employees have been cut down because of ARPA money. You know the whole truth and nothing but the truth. All these funds, all these employees were paid government money. And then once the government money runs out, guess who pays for it? The taxpayers. And what the council did, they should be commended, because if you need help or whatever, you know, city manager, everybody has to work together, no matter how many employees we got. We can do it by ourselves. If you need volunteers, sure, I'd volunteer. But we need to stand on our own 2 feet, and all these deeds, listen, the deed we took from the Methodist Church up here, what are the restrictions, do you know? What are we held to, Mr. Attorney? What are the taxpayers of Lowell held to?
I would have to look at the property records, but as I recall, the property was to be used as a city hall and/or a police station.
What happens in the meantime? We have to take care of it, correct? That's the agreement. We take it forever. We take care of that property. $279,000 is what we pay for, is that correct?
I don't.
Were you complaining about having to cut grass and trim bushes at
I'm
the
not,
property?
let me finish.
when
You
did
had an opportunity to speak. I'm
I mean,
talking-
come on,
we're-
Larry, you've bounced
listen,
around on 10 different
listen,
things and
I'm
not made
bouncing
one
around.
point.
I want to know how we stand. I know you don't care because.
I know I've already told you one time not to raise your voice at me, so I'm not gonna tell you
This
again.
council cares. I care.
I care.
now.
I
And
care,
you-
but not
Whatever you
listen to
did in
your
the past,
mouth.
that's your.
All of you need a point of order.
I agree, and I'm asking serious questions. What are we held to on this property, the Methodist Church property? What are we held to? What's the agreement? You don't know the agreement up at the chemical plant, do you know the agreement on this one? What are we held to?
That's
Mayor,
not
I
a
think
que-
you've
what
been
you're-
told in the past, if you got questions that you want answers to, you
I've
need to
asked
bring,
questions, I brought it to
you
the
need
top.
to bring it to the attorney prior to the meeting so
No,
you can
listen,
have this
He's
information.
the one who provided this. He did.
I know he
Just me.
provided,
Okay,
but
thank
you're
you.
asking him
Yes,
questions.
sir, I'm asking questions because we're held liable to it. You are as council members, and I as mayor, and I as a citizen, we're all held accountable. Every citizen in this town is held
Point of
accountable.
order.
That is point of order.
Point of order that we move on.
Second.
I know you don't want to talk about what's necessary, but this is our money. And what we're doing is wasting taxpayers' money.
There's a point of order, Mayor, on the floor. It's been seconded. We
I'm
need to
still
move
talking,
on.
but I have a question to the.
Well, you can talk, but you need to move on from this. And
I'm
move on
talking
to
about,
the next.
I need an answer about what are we held
No,
accountable
you
to.
can have a budget item or an agenda item next time. You can give staff
Well, let me
and
ask you
legal plenty
this,
of time to
before I
prepare
move
these
interrupt this,
questions.
usually, let me ask you
Any
this.
So you need to let him finish. If they're making a point of order and asking you to move on, you at least need to let them finish that.
Yes, but I'm still going to ask a question. Go ahead. Here's my question next. The property we bought up here for this parking lot that we bought for $75,000. Did you do a title search to see if there's any liens, encompasses, anything on that property?
Yes, we would have done that.
You did. Was there any liens?
There would, if we closed on the property, there would not have been liens.
So once you closed on it, that removed all liens? No, it doesn't.
No, we would not have closed on it if there were
We
liens.
paid $75,000 for that little piece of dirt. It's all our tax, it's not even paved. It's not even fit to park in, but we own it. And all these properties we have obtained through ARPA money, our money, taxpayers' money, or whatever, should be well thought of before you ever make those decisions, because now you're held liable to the Methodist property forever, if you don't ever put another thing on it.
Look, you just went from the Methodist property to this.
I'm talking about all the properties we bought with ARPA money.
If you're stumping for a campaign, and that's
Listen,
one
I'm not running for
thing,
nothing.
you're taking council's time
It's your
right now.
responsibility
Everybody
to
else's
the people. I
not.
know you don't understand
So,
that.
no, I do
As council
understand
members,
that.
you should be responsible. You should
We
be asking
we have
questions.
had a
And you should
clean
never
audit
approve none of
every
this.
year.
None of this should ever
And
be.
don't have any reason to believe we're not gonna have one this
Then
year.
what did you pay?
You don't need this
Why
one.
did you take $2 million from the state of North Carolina to fix a crappy building up there that you knew that you could never use because you can't use it? There's nothing you can use up there. It's not, if you put our public works up there, they got to run up and down by all those nice homes with trash flying out of the back of a garbage truck.
This is
all
not the
crazy.
time or place right this second, at this point in the meeting, to debate whether or not a public works facility should go in that property.
When would you debate it?
Closing comments right now. We're done. Let's close it out.
I'm
Let's
not
go
through
ahead.
yet. I have questions. If if you wanna leave, go ahead and leave, you can be excused. I'm asking questions for the public. And you all, the public, you should be interested as I am.
Oh, I'm interested. I've already done my due diligence.
I'm sorry that what's happened in the past, I can't control it. But what happens in the future, I'm a part of it. And this money that we
That's a scary
waste,
thought.
listen, $10 million that no one knew we had. That all the different banks. Right now, we're First Horizon. Do we have any other accounts besides First Horizon? This is a question different from the plan. How many accounts do we have besides First Horizon?
We still have Truist.
How much?
How much is in there?
Yes, it's on your computer. I've got it. You should know it. Finance officer here, they should know it. All these questions are relevant because it's our money. We can't continue to operate the city the way we've been operating. Our council, the smartest council in the history of Louisville, reduced taxes because they had a way to reduce taxes from 49 cents to 35 cents. But look what happened to us. The fire tax, we paid to Gaston County 10.5 cents. Listen, all this stuff's relevant and crazy. I agree 100%. The previous board didn't understand money, didn't understand the budget. When you pay 10.5 cents for a tax rate
I need a motion
to
to
the county,
excuse.
go ahead. 10.5 cents for the tax, I'll be excused too. 10.5 cents for tax rate that we only get back 500, we're gonna get 500,000. And we're paying them over $1 million a year. And that's our fire department. And all this because they got upset over a disagreement between the city manager and the fire chief.
That's not right.
But
That's not right at all.
No.
Here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to do. Let's kill it all. Let's kill it all. Larry doesn't think we need any employees here at City Hall. You're gonna do it. You're gonna run the books. You take it over. You write all the checks. You manage all the business and see how we go. All right, go ahead and do it. You've already run everybody else off in here. You've killed everything else. You run it. You run it, and you know, out of Wild Horses up there, wherever the hell you want to do it, and do what you got to do. And we'll see how long it takes for the state of North Carolina to come in and say, "You're out. We're taking it
I
up."
appreciate your interest, but here's what I like. I would love for the whole town to hear this, to see how the money's taken.
They've heard it. I tell you what they've done. They forgot from 2013 to 15 what happened. And they did the same mistake again, and that's why we're in this problem right now. As Mr. Smith, I'm excusing myself. Have a good night.
Thank
Just
you.
like with Al Green, the city's going to, the League of Municipalities.
Listen,
gonna
it's
take the
time
city
to
over.
speak was a while ago. We're talking business about the town's money. I know you folks back there, I don't understand what I have to understand. That's the bottom line of what it costs for these taxpayers. And this is a tragedy, what's happened here tonight, that we can't get the answers that the public, and listen, none of these are working tonight, so the public doesn't even have no way of knowing anything. And that's terrible. It's not working. None of these are working.
It's being recorded, so it will be put on.
Good, let's put it, I hope it is, where people can understand where the money's gone. And listen, when we spend all this money every year for the budget, that's all we have, what we have in the budget. We can't get a correct audit from our budget, so we know how we stand. That's wrong. That is terrible for the people, because every citizen in this town, every employee should know where the money is, and every council member, as mayor, we should know where the money is. And we don't know it. That's all I have. If you want to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn, and I guess I'll vote
Yeah,
myself.
we don't have a quorum anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you. We need all that information.
Larry, this town never owned that fire department, and they don't, and they won't.
We do. I got the deed to it.
The hell you do.
I do. I have the deed. I have the deed to it.
There's two.
Lowell,
Well,
North
it's-
Carolina
it's,
has the deed. Come up
The
here. and I'll
bylaws
show
say
you. You
up
put it
to
up, you can go to the tax
nine. We
office
only
and
have
get that.
seven.
Okay, I'll check.
That property was donated to the fire department, which is just
Well,
all
that's
along
why
the
we
city.
had
Just like the Boy
Okay,
Girls Club.
because I was under the
Donated
impression we
property
was looking for
and-
one.
No,
Joe Hudson
that's
gave
why
us-
we had two.
Okay.
But but we knew that the background check has to be
The budget
done
amendment, they just
before voted on it. I thought
Right,
that's
no, I didn't,
here.
no, we didn't.
Yeah, well, you always have to do that before they vote.
and,
No, well,
And thank you, I'm glad you didn't take the job.
Thanks.
I mean,
thank you.
that's, I'm proud of it. Proud of it.
Thank you, John. Have a good one, thank you.
Not that I know of.
All